He's live. He's nationwide. This is the Zach Gelb Show. Here's your host, Zach Gelb.
Live from the Palatial yet not overly ostentatious studios of 365 Sports here in beautiful New York City. We are here on a Thursday edition of the Zach Gelb Show right here on 365 Sports. You could always get at me on the good old cesspool of Twitter or on Instagram where I'm straight flexing at Zach Gelb. That's ZACHGELB. Or you could get at me on TikTok at the Zach Gelb Show. Whether you're watching us live now or you're consuming us after the show does conclude Monday through Fridays from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 to 3 p.m. Central Time. You could check out youtube.com/@365sportsyt and make sure you subscribe. youtube.com/@365sportsyt. You're going to see my eyes wandering off to the right, wandering off to the left during this show because in my palatial estate, I got a 2-TV setup here for March Madness. And I got a TV over there, and I got a TV over there. And to the right, this was a TCU team that was up big at halftime up against the Ohio State Buckeyes. They had a 39-24 lead. And I was telling Garrett before the show, I just always have loved Jamie Dixon going back to Pitt. He's been with the Horned Frogs for a long time now. And it looked like they were going to blow Ohio State out of the joint and out of the building. And their last lead that the Buckeyes had was at 5-2. So this was a TCU ass-kicking for the majority of this game. Well, in the second half, and really in the last 5 minutes or so, it's been a much different story. But in the second half, with 6 minutes to go, it is 55-50, and the Buckeyes have taken the lead. TCU just made a bucket, and I believe it was an and one. So now it's going to be 55-52 in favor of the Buckeyes with the Horned Frogs going to the charity stripe. Some other games that are in action right now. Nebraska, who's never won a basketball game in the NCAA tournament. They are a 4 seed this year going up against the Troy Trojans, who are a 13 seed. And Nebraska had a really good regular season. Troy was 22 wins in the regular season. The second half is just underway. And the Cornhuskers are up by 14 points, 44-30. Other games that are going on right now, Wisconsin and High Point. That is tipped off. You're about 8 minutes or so in, 12:32 remaining. Wisconsin is up early, 15-12. You got Louisville and South Florida. Mikel Brown, the star freshman for the Louisville Cardinals, it was announced that he's going to be out for the opening weekend. Louisville, led by Pat Kelsey, they are a 6 seed. A lot of people think that USF is going to pull off the upset. I faded what a lot of people's sexy upset pick was in USF, and Louisville is up early right now, 24-11. So you got 4 games in action right now. 2 of them are in the second half. Nebraska 44, Troy 30 in the second half. Ohio State and TCU, that's now a 2-point game. The Buckeyes are up 55-53. That one's coming down to the wire just under 6 minutes. And then you got in the first half still early goings. Louisville up 24-11 over USF and Wisconsin up 15-12 over High Point. Hey, Garrett Ross, let me just ask you this to get a little nostalgic to open things up today on the show. And I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
When you go back, let's say March Madness memories of the last 20, 25 years, what's your favorite one? Just you personally.
Oh, man. Me personally, I would go back to the Arizona National Championship. I believe it was over Kentucky in 98. I loved Arizona basketball growing up. I loved Coach Olson. But watching them get that championship, I remember being in McGregor, Texas at this girl's house, like posted up on a recliner, watching that, dude. That's the one that sticks out to me.
So that was basketball and chill back in the days is what you were doing?
Basketball and chill way back in the day, brother.
That did not go on to be your wife, correct?
No, it did not. It did not.
Okay. Just asking. That would have been a wild story.
No.
One that really stands out to me, Duke and Butler, that national championship game. And I remember I had school the next day. It starts so late. I fell asleep in the second half. And you have these moments as a dad now where you're probably waking up your son and you're trying to have a cool bonding moment. I remember my dad woke me up with like 7 minutes left in the game. And we sat there in my bedroom. I had a small TV in my bedroom, and we were watching it. And at the end, where you had was it Gordon Hayward, I think, who had the half court shot at the end, the heave? And when it almost went in, usually you think of a moment where it's a half court buzzer beater shot, something like that. When that shot almost went in, it's just something that I always remember. To this day, it was one of the great championship games and really one of the great stories of Brad Stevens, who made it to the championship game in back-to-back years, lost to Duke, and then eventually lost to UConn. I believe Kevin Ollie. That was the lone Kevin Ollie national championship.
I think another one that sticks out to me, it was the Morrison run at Gonzaga. Because I had never really heard of that program. Yeah, dude, I'd never heard of the program. It was like around that time I was in high school playing. It was like, oh, this dude's kind of like us. We could just, fit in and play basketball and enjoy it and everything. But it was fun, dude. It was a hell of a run, and he really put Gonzaga on the map.
I'll tell you a fun story, and most people don't believe this, but it's a true story. The first bracket I've ever filled out was the year where Jim Larinago's squad went to the Final Four with George Mason. Mm-hmm. So my dad was a big newspaper guy. And we had the New York Post, big fat bracket. He handed it to me. And you know how it's the right side of the bracket. That's, you got to meet them up in the Final Four. So the first time I ever filled out a bracket, I just liked the name George Mason. So I put them in the Final Four. But when I got to the Final Four, let's say they were on the upper right. I don't remember which side they were on, but let's say they're on the upper right. I put them against the team in the upper left. That's who I thought they were going to play in the bracket. So my dad said, you did it wrong, and he handed me a new bracket, and I ended up just not liking George Mason when I refilled out that bracket as a dumb kid. And we remember after the Final Four happened, my dad found it, and he was like, what the heck? This is absolutely wild. And it was like all scribbled because I was like, oh, I messed it up. I was down and out as a kid that I messed up the bracket. But those runs are unbelievable. I know Porter Moser well. Loyola Chicago was such a cool run. FAU a few years ago. My dad being like the only Jew to ever go to Villanova. And he actually produced Rolly Massimino's radio show.
That's sick.
So he tells me all the time when I was growing up about Villanova and Georgetown and the greatness of that upset. And I think Villanova, they were either a 9 or 11, and that was like the lowest seed, I think, to win a national championship ever, the highest seed, however you want to word it. And some of the players that were on that team, Dwayne McClain and Chuck Everson, just to name a few off the cabeza. So those are some memories that I will just always remember. And I remember being on the air in Jersey. And I picked Loyola Chicago to upset in the first round. And when that shot went in towards the end of the game, I was losing my mind on the air, because it's cool when you're on the unforeseen upset and you end up getting it right.
Yeah. No, there's been some great runs there. I like that. I really like that Maryland team. When you had Chris Wilcox in them. That was a fun team to watch.
Well, that Maryland team that won the national championship, my dad has a friend that is from that area. Did they play Syracuse at some point in that NCAA tournament?
I honestly don't remember. I cannot remember, dude.
I want to say that they did play Syracuse. Can you look it up? That run where they won the national champion with Steve Blake, right? Yeah, because for some reason I remember we were at like a restaurant that turned into a bar, but if you could be there with your family. And I remember watching a Maryland game, and I want to say Syracuse is factored in because my uncle attended Syracuse and my aunt. And I remember calling their home phone, basically saying like, oh, I'm at this bar, and all these people are going nuts for Maryland, but I know you guys want Syracuse to win. So I do remember that championship. What is that, 03?
Let's see. It was 02. It was 02.
02. Yeah.
Yeah. So they, in the tournament, they went through Siena, Wisconsin, Kentucky, UConn, Kansas, and Indy. So they might have played them non-conference.
Yeah. I don't
during the season. That was still when they were in the ACC, I believe.
Maybe Syracuse was also in the NCAA tournament that year. But yeah, that was just some memory that I had that was, gets blended through all the years. And then I was on the air the night the first ever 16 seed beat a 1. And how we had 2 of those, happen in recent memory. We've had a few 15s beat a 2. And I was in Philly, actually, for the Florida Gulf Coast run, where their opening round was in Philadelphia. And I want to say one game was definitely up against Georgetown. The other may have been San Diego State. But yeah, it's wild when you get on these runs. And also I was at the American Conference Tournament, American Athletic Conference Tournament,
right,
when you had that crazy run by UConn and Shabazz Napier. I want to say that was in the American. So, and hey, the Kemba Walker run a few years before that.
Dude.
That was one of the greats. And then Memphis.
Emeka Okafor, I remember that team. That team was cold, dude.
Calhoun's one of the best coaches to ever do it. How he made Storrs, Connecticut a happening destination is just absolutely wild. And then that Memphis-Kansas national championship game with the free throws at the end, Mario Chalmers as well. There's just so many big-time moments. And it's crazy, too, when you look back at these. And obviously you got Leitner and these iconic moments, but the Jalen Suggs half-court shot
that was ridiculous.
To put Gonzaga in the championship game, and that's when they were undefeated?
Yeah, because they
were
beat
undefeated.
That was the one when they beat UCLA. He ran onto the table, and then Baylor beat him in the Natty.
Yeah, but the weird part about that was there were no fans in the stadium.
Yeah, just nothing.
Or very few.
It was COVID. Yeah,
because it was during COVID. And I was actually, here's something for you. I was at the Big East tournament that Thursday. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. Well, it probably was Wednesday because I think that was the first day of the tournament when they paused the game at halftime. And Darrell Reynolds, the former Villanova player, he's him and I, we became friendly through the years through a mutual friend. He was working for the Big East, and he came up to me with like 8 minutes left in the half, and he goes, "Zach, you can't tell anyone. At halftime, they're going to announce that they're taking the teams off the court and that this is going to be over." I'm sitting in the third row.
Right.
And I know this information. And at the time, I was doing 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern time for CBS Sports Radio. And that was just a wild moment. I remember like calling my dad and I said, because at that time, you didn't know what it was going to turn into.
Yeah.
And I said to my dad, should I go? Like, should I go? And he goes, of course you should go. And I'm like, but what happens if I get sick? Blah. He's like, just go. And I'm thankful that I went. And Val Ackerman, the commissioner of the Big East, listen how stupid this was. Think about this now looking back at it. They're telling you it's not safe for these players to play. Then we go to a media room after that announcement with 100 media members rubbing elbows, no masks. Like that wasn't a thing yet. And how I didn't get COVID in that moment was just absolutely mayhem. And even though I'm not a huge fan of Villanova anymore, I grew up as a fan of Villanova because that's where my dad went. Now I'm a Temple Owl, obviously. Our basketball program stinks these days. But the Villanova National Championship up against UNC was one of the all-time great national championship games where it was Oshefu who was mopping up the floor. And then you had Archie Diacono with the flip of the ball to Chris Jenkins. And then boom, Onions championship double sauteed. Oh, it was, you think of some memories. And that's why this day is so fun in March Madness, because it's the first day of the tournament. And you sit there and you may think you know what's going to happen, but in reality, you really don't know what's going to happen. And you sit there and you just get to figure out what are going to be these great storylines. Like I will never forget being in college and Temple, when I was in college, they only made the NCAA tournament twice.
Yeah.
One year was with Khalif Wyatt, who had a great 2-game run. And they almost beat Indiana with Victor Oladipo. And they should have beat them, but nobody, like Wyatt had like 30-something points.
Yeah.
But nobody else could make a shot. And then I was at the Barclays Center. It's the last Temple basketball game that I broadcasted as a student. It was Temple up against Iowa. And we lost in overtime on like a putback. I think it was this kid's name was Adam Benberry or something like that. This big guy, something like that. And he just tipped the ball in. And I was like, shot goes up, no good. Benberry puts it back in, and the Owls lose at the buzzer.
How gut-wrenching was that?
Oh, it was such a gut punch.
I bet, dude.
Such a gut punch. And you just wanted to be on the call for a winning moment. But it was wild. I think Fran Dunphy, who I love Fran Dunphy, in that game, like Daniel Dingle basically had like a broken hand. And he put Daniel Dingle in Brooklyn on the charity stripe. And he had one, he shot with the other hand.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. And then a few years later, Temple, you know how they do like those early season tournaments?
Yeah.
Temple was playing at the Barclays Center. So the university said, like, do you want to go to the game? I said, yeah, I'd love to go to the game. You know, I'll finish the show and then go right over to the Barclays Center. We're sitting 2 rows behind the bench at the Barclays Center. And who's sitting next to me? Daniel Dingle, who I went to college with.
Right.
And we're talking, and at the end of the game, some kid was on the charity stripe for the Owls, and he just airballed the free throw. And I turned to him, I go, kind of looks like when Fran put you on the charity stripe. And he goes, could you believe that I had to shoot those free throws with how my hand was busted up? Just some of those
I don't
crazy
understand
moments.
how you could justify putting him out there like that. Like, there's got to be a better option, bro.
I'm just going to be transparent. I really don't remember the specifics of it because it's been so many years ago. But that's why days like this are just so awesome, because we enter a 3 or 4 week stretch where truly we don't have a damn clue how this is going to play out. Like, it does feel chalky this year, but with the region that Duke is in, if you tell me that Duke loses in the Elite Eight, am I going to sit there and be floored and be shocked and will it be inconceivable? Absolutely not. So let me just give you some updates, and then we'll get more into this tournament. As you do have 4 games in action right now. One's coming right down to the wire. TCU has taken the 58-57 lead with 2:08 remaining. However, the Buckeyes are at the charity stripe. Louisville is 2:26 remaining in half number 1. They're up 30-22 up against USF. Wisconsin and High Point, that's 34-26. That Wisconsin is up. And then Nebraska is absolutely pummeling Troy, 65-40 with about 8 minutes to go in half number 2. All righty, let's do this. What we will do right now is I'm going to give you 10 sentences. And they're just going to be pressure point sentences or maybe even a question in how I view March Madness this year with some of the biggest storylines. The honorable mention I'm going to give you. And Garrett, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this one. Mark Pope needs a win.
Ooh.
Like it's year number 2 with them at Kentucky. Last year they went to the Sweet 16. Arkansas also had success in John Calipari's first season there a year ago. They beat St. John's. And it was kind of like a moment where it goes, okay, it's working for Arkansas. It's working for Kentucky. Now we enter March Madness. Arkansas, even as a 4 seed, coming off their SEC tournament victory with Darius Acuff, they are a sexy pick. A lot of people are calling the Hogs and doing Pig Suey right now, where it's for Kentucky. They just haven't been it. They just haven't been that this year. And when you get into this matchup in the first round of the NCAA tournament, you're a 7 seed going up against a 10. If you lose this one, I'm not saying anyone's going to sit there and maybe people will call for Mark Pope to get fired. But Kentucky, and I know they have a new AD coming in, they're not going to fire him.
No.
But it would be a crazy feeling at the end of year 1 to where it would be going into year 2 if they lose to Santa Clara tomorrow. And that game is the first game on a Friday tip tomorrow, right at 12:15 p.m. Eastern time. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Mark Pope just to win one game in this tournament. Because if they lose, it's going to be like a year later, maybe we didn't get it right with one of our own.
Yeah, and he's also in one of those weird situations where no matter what he does, he's always going to be compared to Calipari. So he could have success, but if Calipari takes this team further, then you're not doing you can't justify firing him and then coming and bringing you in. It's also more difficult because he's one of their own.
Yeah,
so there's more.
Won a championship.
There. Yeah, he won a championship there. So yeah, he definitely needs a win. But I just kind of feel for him because that's one of those weird situations where no matter what you do, you're always going to be parallel to what's going on in Arkansas.
Yeah, and the thing is, I even look at a little bit further than that. I don't think what you said is wrong, but why'd they get rid of Calipari? They were frustrated with the performances towards the end, like losing to Oakland, for example, in the NCAA tournament. And if you then lose to Santa Clara, it's like, oh, well, we're not getting the same quality players as we were getting under Coach Cal, and now we're not doing as well in the NCAA tournament. Because say what you want about Coach Cal, it was an all-star team each and every year at Kentucky.
No, I think if Pope is going to have to find a way to get old, I think he's going to have to get some star players in, but he's going to have to get older, whereas Calipari made his bread on I'm going to bring in these young dudes, freshmen. We're just going to run it, which I think it's ultimately bit him in the ass because they weren't able to develop and compete and go on those long runs. I think he went too far to relying on freshmen, but I think Mark Pope's kind of got to go a little older, find ways to get those people in the transfer portal to come in and fill the void while you bring in some young star power to carry the load.
All right, these are my 10 sentences for the NCAA tournament. Number 10, Nebraska must get their first ever NCAA tournament win. It looks like that's going to happen, Garrett. They're up now 28 points up against Troy. But could you have imagined, with all the bad luck that the Nebraska football program has, the last 2 years they've had a heck of a basketball team with Hoiberg as the coach, and this has been a really special season. It kind of tailed off at the end, but they could go to the Sweet 16. We'll see what happens in round number 2. But just getting that monkey off the back, you don't want to celebrate too much after this one, but it's a pretty cool special moment that's going to happen, assuming that they're able to hold on in the next 6.5 minutes when they're up by 30 points. Yeah. Imagine if they lose this. Oh, I think Smokey I don't know. I know Smokey's a huge, huge Nebraska football fan. Does that mean he's also a Nebraska basketball fan?
I don't think he's locked in the way he is with football, but knowing the circumstances around this, I think he's definitely wanting them to get he's definitely pulling for him.
I'm going to say this very quietly because I respect Smokey a lot. But if Nebraska blows this with 6.5 minutes left up by 30, I think he may croak in the studio.
He might, but it also would be on par. That's what the football team would do.
I think it may be the first time we ever have someone die in the 365 Sports Studios because I know the passion isn't as much there for Nebraska basketball with Smokey as it is for football. But if anyone on this network knows how Smokey is with Nebraska football, it's me. Because I get not paragraphs, books sent to me during these Nebraska football games.
That's really how I envision Smokey dying. Most people say on the air, right? No, he's going to be watching a Nebraska football game. They're going to fumble the ball, and the heart's just going to give out.
We're just going to find him on a Monday. Laid out.
In sentence number 9, a last run for Purdue's Big Three. You got Braden Smith, you got Trey Kaufman-Renn, and you got Fletcher Lawyer. They're playing in an easier region, and you look at that region in the upper right. Yeah, sure, there's Arizona. Sure, there is Arkansas, some really good teams, but you're a number 2 seed, your number 3 seed is in Gonzaga. To get to the Elite Eight, here are the teams, the possibility of the teams that you're going to have to beat. It is Gonzaga, Kennesaw State, Missouri, Miami, Purdue, and obviously Purdue being there, and then Queens. That is not the craziest road to get there, and then also either BYU or Texas. You look at that for Purdue. Painter, I know he's been to a national championship game when they had that large guy, Zach Edey, obviously, but and they ended up losing that national championship game. But this is a year where there's an opportunity for Purdue, where college basketball, it seems open. Sure, people are going to pick their Arizonas, their Dukes, their Michigans, Florida to repeat. And even though I think Duke is clearly the best team in the country, they're now put in the toughest region, and you look at the other 3 regions, they're easy peasy compared to what they did in the East. So not that I felt like Purdue was going to win a national championship this season, but with their draw, they got a chance here to go deep into this tournament. And you talk about how teams are built. A lot of freshmen in this tournament, a lot of transfers. They got 3 veteran guys that have been with the program, and there's been continuity, and all 3 of those guys have been very special for many years for the Purdue program. In at number 8, now or never for Illinois and Brad Underwood to get to the Final Four. They've had some really good teams. That one year they ran into Loyola Chicago early and they ended up losing. After that, Brad has done a really good job there. But you look at the draw that Illinois has. Florida just won a championship. Are they going to be able to win back-to-back? We saw Florida in the SEC tournament get blown out by Vanderbilt. You do have Vanderbilt, in that region. Nebraska in that region. North Carolina, I think, is going to lose to VCU. St. Mary's and Texas A&M. Houston, who's done a sensational job with Kelvin Sampson through the years. Really, outside of the East, like in the East, that's like a gauntlet. The rest of them, I'm not really intimidated with what's in front of me. And for Illinois, this could be a year where I'm sure most people in that region are going to pick either Florida or Houston to go.
Right.
Maybe it ends up being your year as a 3 seed where you end up finding your way to Indianapolis for the Final Four.
It could be. I think they can make it to the Elite Eight. I don't know if they can get past the Elite Eight. I really don't.
All right.
I think they can legitimately make there.
7. Arkansas must get to at least the Sweet 16. If Arkansas gets to the Sweet 16, and I know that they just won the SEC tournament, but that would be a heck of a season for Calipari. With the success that they had last year, then you win the SEC tournament this year, and if you do get to the Sweet 16, and you could go further than that. But when you take a look at the way that this is going to break down, they play Hawaii to open things up. Then they get the winner of Wisconsin and High Point. By the way, with 3:30 left, that's now a 2-point game. Wisconsin is up on High Point 37-35. There's no excuses there. Like, you have to get to the Sweet 16. You got to win 2 games in the NCAA tournament. And how awesome would that be if we open up that Sweet 16 with Arkansas, Arizona? Like, that's a matchup in the NCAA tournament. And there's like a lot of matchups. Like, maybe some people want to see St. John's and UConn have a rematch. Maybe some people want to see Florida play Houston in a rematch of the national championship game. Like, just some of the games that are starting to spin. One game I really want to see is Arizona and Arkansas, because Arkansas is having an upward trajectory right now, and Arizona has been in cruise control the entire season. Like, they've been flying high. It's not a turbulent flight. Sure, they lost 2 games. Oh, what just happened there?
Frogs. So Ohio State went for a half-court shot to end the game, missed it. TCU gets the dub, 66-64.
We're 1 for 1. We still have a perfect bracket.
Yes.
Wait, we have a sponsorship with Kalshi, right?
We do have a sponsorship with Kalshi, I believe.
Well, real quickly, my girlfriend actually texted me this morning about Kalshi.
Okay.
So I don't know the specifics of this, but they are giving away for a perfect bracket, I think it's $1 billion.
What?
Yeah. Free to enter, chance to win $1 billion if you have a perfect bracket.
Huh.
So I'm 1 for 1.
Yes, we're on the trajectory.
We're on the road to $1 billion. I give you a few million. If I won $1 billion, I give you $5 million.
I appreciate that.
Right?
Yeah.
The rest of you's back at that studios, I don't know.
Nah.
I know the Valades don't need the money, I'll tell you that.
No, they don't. No, they're good.
Yeah, so good for Jamie Dixon. That would have been miserable.
Dude,
absolutely miserable if they would have lost that game. Who was the player? I think his name was it Scotty Reynolds or Scotty Reynolds? Scotty Reynolds
sounds familiar.
Yeah. Villanova. I think I combined my Temple Villanova background there. Scooty Randall played for the Owls. Scotty Reynolds. That was a great Elite Eight game between Pitt and Villanova where he hit that shot right at the end. So TCU wins. That would have been a miserable collapse because they were up for the majority of that game and they were up big at halftime, and then it looked like they were going to get away from them. But good for Jamie Dixon and TCU, the first team to jump on in. See, that's the tough part. The TV's off to my right. So I saw the horn go off.
Yeah.
And then I saw your face, and I'm like, uh-oh, what did I just miss? So TCU advancing, they'll get the winner of Duke and Siena, Jerry McNamara, the head basketball coach at Siena. Obviously won a championship with Syracuse, I think with Carmelo Anthony. And then Duke is your number 1 overall seed. So I'm going to go on a limb here. I don't think we're going to lose our Kalshi perfect bracket with Duke Siena, as both of us are on the Blue Devils. But to what I was saying, I would love to see Arkansas go up against Arizona. Next one, a back-to-back opportunity for Florida. It's rare that you see back-to-back national championships. I think in the last 25 years, Florida did it with Billy Donovan, and then UConn just did it with Danny Hurley. But you look at this for the Gators, their region is Prairie View, Clemson, Iowa, Vanderbilt, McNeese, Nebraska, Troy, UNC, VCU, Illinois, Penn, St. Mary's, A&M, Houston, Idaho. There's not a team there that they can't beat.
No.
And if they get through and they get back to the Final Four, you're going up against a Duke team, or maybe I shouldn't just assume it's Duke, but whoever gets out of that gauntlet in the East.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's going to be like a fighter who just won a 11 or 12 round bout, and they were getting slugged in the face, because that is just a murderer's row gauntlet. So there's a good chance that we could see a back-to-back champion. And imagine Todd Golden if he does do that. Like, do you want to go to the NBA?
At that point, you might as well.
Well, I don't know.
You don't think so?
Sometimes there's coaches that are just fit for college and should just stay in college. Now, I understand the lifestyle is easier in the NBA than college, but if you have a formula that's won 2 championships, like when Danny Hurley was flirting with the Lakers,
right?
Hurley, to me, doesn't seem like he could coach in the NBA because he's a maniac. He's an absolute maniac, and he's a drill sergeant, and he's someone that I don't think would fit well in the load management philosophy. So Golden's younger, obviously.
Right.
I don't know, if he has NBA aspirations, but if I win back-to-back championships at Florida, like, look at Billy Donovan. I know he stayed after winning, for a little bit, but he goes to OKC. Now he's in Chicago. It's like,
you lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, like Billy, he's been fine, but you were a legend in the college. I always wanted Billy Donovan to go back to college, but when he didn't take the Kentucky job, like the 3,000 times that he probably could have had it,
writing was on the wall.
Duke, or UNC, like, look at these Villanova, these jobs that open up through the years. That ship has definitely sailed. So there is a back-to-back opportunity for Florida. Number 5, St. John's must play Duke in the Sweet 16. St. John's had an incredible season last year. Incredible. R.J. Lewis, Zuby, and then they win their opening round game in the tournament. You get Pitino and Calipari gets the victory over the Johnnies. This year, I don't want to hear about any other team that's standing in the way of the Johnnies. Zuby's been one of the more diverse players in the country. You should beat Northern Iowa, and then you get the winner of Cal Baptist in Kansas. And let's be real, Kansas has been a pain in the ass all year. This could be Bill Self's final season. If so, salute to Bill Self. But I'm not rooting for his team because Darren Peterson, I don't like the way that he's kind of handled this whole season in college basketball. With Pitino's age, and you never know what it's going to look like from year to year. Mike Rapoli is always going to be pouring in money to that program. You got to get the Johnnies to it. I don't think they've been to a Sweet 16 since like 1999.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
Is what I read this morning. You won back-to-back Big East Conference championships in the tournament. You got to go. You got to go to the Sweet 16 this year, and then just give us that matchup up against Duke. And if you lose to Duke, I don't think you're going to get blasted nationally. In at number 4, how many more chances for Kelvin Sampson? It's been a career turnaround. What he has done at Houston in the national championship, game a year ago. They had one other Final Four appearance. He's had 3 total for his career, I believe. You look at it this year, and as I said, outside of the East, all of these regions, they seem gettable, and it puts an enormous amount of pressure on the 1 seeds, because if you're saying they seem gettable, it's like, okay, that means it's an easy road for the 1 seed. But the value of the 2 seed and the 3 seed this year, when you're not in the East, you're sitting there and you're saying, guys, we got a chance. And Kelvin Sampson, obviously, they're unbelievable in the Big 12. You had them in Arizona in the Big 12 championship game. Kelvin Sampson, the one thing missing on his resume is a national championship. And some coaches just don't win a national championship, and they're still viewed as a great coach in college basketball. Sampson is a great coach. What he's done at Houston is better than anyone could have even have thought of, dreamed of, and it's been the reality there. But I know you're big on the Cougars. They got to find a way. Where last year, we've seen teams before that lose in the national championship game or have heartbreak, and then they come back, and I know it's a little bit of a different team, you wonder how many more bites out of the apple that you're going to get if you're Kelvin Sampson.
No, I mean, it's getting up there as far as age-wise and everything. I don't think he's like a lifer. I don't think he wants to coach very much longer, honestly. And plus, also, like, if you're looking at a situation where you're probably going to play your Sweet 16 and your Elite Eight in Houston right down the road, you get the rematch possibly setting up with Florida, given how things went last year in the national championship. Yeah, you got a lot of opportunities ahead of you to right some wrongs. And then if you're able to cap it off with the national championship at the end, I can see him riding off in the sunset.
And think about this. The last 2 years, the Final Four last year was in San Antonio.
Yep.
So Houston was playing in the Final Four and then the national championship in the state of Texas.
Right.
Now, assuming they get to the second weekend, which I would be shocked if they don't.
Got to, yeah.
You have those two games at Houston. Like, come on.
Yep.
You got to get back to the Final Four. In at number 3, Dusty May must make another Final Four this year. We all know what he did at FAU. And sometimes you have these coaches that have these great runs at smaller schools. They get the big job, and it just doesn't work out. I love Porter Moser. He's been sensational at Loyola Chicago. At Oklahoma, it hasn't been anything that you're really getting giddy about, but I assume that he's going to be back next year with the Oklahoma Sooners. So, like, those things happen when you go on those magical runs, and then your next job, it's like, okay, are you ready for the big time? Right. Dusty May gets the Michigan job after, he stayed a little bit at FAU. I think he stayed an extra year or two. And then last year, a little bit of a slow start. They win the Big Ten Conference tournament, and they win that championship. They go on a little bit of a run in the tourney, and now they're sitting there in what I think is the easiest region.
Yeah.
Isn't that – they're the 4th number 1 seed, and they have the easiest road.
Yep.
Like Howard, Georgia, St. Louis, Texas Tech with JT topping out, Akron, Alabama with their second score out. Did you see, by the way, how many pounds of marijuana that was?
It was like 2.2, wasn't it?
Yeah, we thought it was 1.
I thought it was 1. There was somebody.
That's what I read. 1 online.
Might have been Bracket Cat in the chat. I saw him say it was more. I thought he like around 2, but yeah it was 2.2, I believe.
No, it was Bracket Cat because I said 1 in the air. You said it was 1 as well,
right. And
we're like, that's for personal use.
Yeah,
Well, just one or 1.1 pound, for personal use. And then I found out, I was reading online, it was 2.2.
Yeah.
And they're still claiming it's for personal use.
That's not personal, brother.
Some people like to puff the Magic Dragon a lot. Maybe he was making a mass supply of like cookies or brownies or something like that.
I was literally, I was thinking about this. He could have got like some Plug Love and they got like a discount on just a whole. It just holding it and saying.
If you're getting Plug Love, not that I'm an expert in this category, 2.2 pounds? 2.2 pounds?
It's a bit excessive. But
wouldn't it just be like an ounce, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's what I would think. But maybe they're more generous in Alabama. Maybe they are. But, yeah, you look at it for Dusty May in Michigan. If they were in the East region, I'm not saying they have to make the Final Four. But being where they are in their region and how easy that road appears to be, Dusty May, you got to have 2 Final Four appearances. 1 at FAU and go get your first one at Michigan. Number 2, Tommy Lloyd, you better make the Final Four.
Yeah.
Because if you look at this road for Tommy Lloyd in Arizona, they've lost 2 games this year, I think by a combined 7 points. One of them was in overtime. And they were back-to-back games where they've lost. They've been sensational. Mm-hmm. And you got Koa Pete, you got Braden Berries, Tommy Lloyd, the first 4 or 5 years, you've had these really good teams, and you can't get the job done in the tournament. You've never got past the Sweet 16. I think he's been in the Sweet 16 3 times, never been past the Sweet 16.
Right.
You have to get to the Final Four. I'm not even saying you have to win the national championship, but you have to get to the Final Four. He is the coach under the most, him or Shire, who's under more pressure?
I'm going to say Lloyd because I give Shire a pass because you follow the legend and it's so difficult. I think Shire is very similar to what we see with Kalen DeBoer at Alabama. Like, you're really good. You're still there, but the expectations have been set so high by the legend. I think Shire gets a little more of a pass.
Well, here's what I'm going to say.
Lloyd, yeah.
And I know that a lot of our audience is Big 12 country.
Right.
So I don't want this to come off as disrespectful. Nationally, if Arizona loses, are people freaking out? Like
Not
let's
the
say
way they would. Not the way they would with Duke. No.
let's say they lose to Arkansas in the Sweet 16, 77-73.
Right.
Are people freaking out the same way if Duke was to lose to St. John's?
No, not at all.
Yeah, and that's I wanted to say that Tommy Lloyd was the coach under the most pressure, but it's gotta be Shire, and people could interpret pressure in many different ways because like Duke's not, even if Duke loses to Siena, which is not going to happen, they're not going to fire John Shire.
No, hell.
But when you have the back-to-back player of the years with Cooper Flagg last year and now Cam Boozer this year, you got to go win one. And I think it's how you lost too. They had that game gift wrapped to them in Houston.
Yep.
I will never forget walking out of that stadium last year, talking to a fan of the Cougars. And I said to him, I saw 28-3, ironically, in Houston. And that was my team winning it. I left that night just shocked. I think I'm even more shocked now. Like, it was a 7-point lead or a 9-point lead with 45 effing seconds to go. Like, I was sitting there, like, getting ready to tweet out, all right, Duke's going to the championship game, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking and I go, what's happening? What's happening? There was a Duke fan that was, like, taunting a little kid, too.
Oh, that's the
like
worst.
A Houston kid.
That's karma.
No, but it was, like, playful.
Oh, God.
Like, they were both going back and forth at one another. And then that little mother effer, that little kid, he was like, Dookies.
Yes. Good
it
for
was
him.
really funny. And the guy had nothing. He gave the kid a high five. He goes, congratulations. And then in at number 1, you know what? I think it kind of answers my question. Duke needs to win it all.
Got to.
I only put the pressure of one team in this tournament to win it all, and that's Duke. Like, if Michigan gets to the Final Four and they lose to Arizona 75-74, I'm not going to be crushing Michigan. Houston, it does feel like national championship or bust. But Florida, sure, if you lose, no one's going to be. You just won the national championship last year. Arizona, just get to the Final Four. I get it. Duke has such a difficult draw. Such a difficult draw. However, with that being said, there's no excuses.
Nope.
Like Kelly in Vegas said, I go like, oh my God, Duke's the number 1 overall seed, and they have such a tough road. And she goes, I'm not going to feel bad for Duke. Do you think people on a national level still hate Duke with Coach K no longer there? No, but like I used to get in this debate with my old producer, Ryan Hot Take Hickey. He hated Duke. And I'm like, you're a kid in the Northeast. What do you hate Duke for?
Mm-hmm.
Like how was, and he went to Penn State. Like, how has your life been impacted by, he's like, I hate Coach K. And I'm like, I don't really hate Coach K.
I don't think it was Coach K.
But if you hate Coach K and like Duke and the arrogance of Duke, like now with John Shire, it feels like a new Duke. I am not sitting there as a sports fan, and I'm probably in the minority on this. I will admit this. But I'm not sitting there rooting for Duke to lose. I'm not. And I know that people may not like that, but Duke's not one of those schools anymore that I'm like, those mother effers, I want to see them go down.
See, mine wasn't necessarily – my beef with Duke was never necessarily with Coach K. Like, I always respected him. It was the asshole players, the dirty –
Whoa.
The
we are
dirty –
a family-friendly show, my friend.
I don't care.
The Grayson Allens?
Grayson Allen. Even before that, J.J. Redick had some sketchy stuff.
You know what? J.J. Redick is a douche.
He was dirty, bro.
He had a comment a few years ago about the old era. I think it was a Bob Cousy maybe. He's like, oh, they were playing firemen and plumbers.
Oh.
And I clapped back on social media. Like, I just commented on it. And JJ, responded. Oh. And I'm like, oh, let's get him on the show. And I called him, and he was not happy. Like, how'd you get my number? Blah, blah, blah. And we were going, I hate JJ Redick. JJ Redick is a miserable prick. You know, I know we just said we're a family-friendly show. He's a douchebag. All right? He's a douchebag. Yeah. I usually just say douche. JJ Redick is a douchebag. He's an arrogant MFer. Yeah. Oh,
that was my thing, dude. It was the players. It was their players that were like that. That drove me crazy.
There's no one on Duke this year that I hate. And honestly, last year, Con Knipple and Cooper Flagg, I didn't hate them either.
Wow.
So I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but I really don't hate Duke. All righty. Let's get to it right now. We'll just give you a score update with the games that are in play in the NCAA tournament, then we'll take our first break of the day. Right now at halftime, Wisconsin up 41-39 up against High Point. That is a 5-12 game. At the half, Louisville, even without their star freshman, they are up by 10 points against USF. That's 37-27 at the half. We do have two final scores for you. Smokey, party like you never had before, because the Nebraska Cornhuskers have their first victory in the history of the NCAA tournament. They defeated Troy 76-47, so the Cornhuskers are moving on up. TCU survived up against Ohio State in an 8-9 game. That's going to be our first upset of the day, with TCU winning as a 9 seed. And not a huge upset, but TCU did defeat the Buckeyes 66-64. And still to come, tipping off in 15 minutes from now, Siena and Duke, who Gary Ross hates. You have McNeese and Vanderbilt at 3:15. You have Michigan State and North Dakota State at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time. You got Hawaii and Arkansas up at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. VCU and UNC at 6:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Howard and Michigan at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Texas and BYU, 7:25 p.m. Eastern Time. 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time, Buckyball, Texas A&M going up against St. Mary's. 9:25 p.m. Eastern Time, you got Fran McCaffrey back in the NCAA tournament with Penn. I think it's the fifth team he's taken to the NCAA tournament. They're going up against Brad Underwood's Illinois squad. 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time, Josh Ertz's Billikens of St. Louis going up against Georgia. 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, Kennesaw State up against Georgia. 10:10 p.m. Eastern Time, Idaho and Houston is going to wrap out the first day of the NCAA tournament. Zach Gelb here with you on 365 Sports. We will take a timeout. When we come on back, I want to get your interpretation on something Sean Miller related, Garrett, and then also, will the Tennessee Titans actually not be taking Jeremiah Love with the 4th overall pick? We'll get to all that when we come on back at a very busy Thursday edition. NCAA Tournament March Madness is here. Ooh, Onions edition of the Zach Gelb Show.
What I love most about playing basketball is the competition. I really just like being shifty, mastering hesitation moves, changing direction, building chemistry with new teammates. If you're not having fun while you're playing, it's no point in playing the game. You know what to do. Escape Basic. Pair of Thieves quick dry underwear. It wicks away sweat and helps keep you dry. You looking forward to fishing season?
Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com.
I'm here to work out with you.
We did not put this little cookie cutter program together.
I'm in there with you, sweating, yelling, doing the damn thing.
Transformed by Core Home Fitness.
A secret, I travel internationally every year. I struggle with insomnia both at home and especially in hotels. This was life-changing. It's called Fly Kit. My favorite aspect of the Fly Kit is it tells you when to sleep.
Dude, check out this robe. This is the dude robe. It's perfect for after the shower, gym, or even the beach. This thing is awesome. It also has this super premium towel lining to dry you off right away. Dude, what are you waiting for? Get yourself a dude robe today.
At Dreamy, we believe that life can be upgraded in comfort, convenience, and joy. He's live. He's nationwide. This is the Zach Gelb Show. Here's your host, Zach Gelb.
All righty, welcome back in. It is the Zach Gelb Show right here on 365 Sports. I love me some Big Friendly. who's great in the YouTube chat, used to call me on my own old show. He's like, every day I ask you guys to talk about the Rams, and you never talk about the Rams. What is he talking about? Like, I love you, Big Friendly, but you got to be fair and honest here. You're not being fair, and you're not being honest. The last 2 days, I have sat here, and I have said the Rams are the team to beat so far entering the NFL season. I love their offseason with the LA Rams. Their secondary has been unbelievable with the acquisitions that they made this offseason. I was even saying that they should go trade for Max Crosby before Max Crosby got dealt by the Ravens, and then that guy Eric DeCosta's feet were freezing cold. You know, they were like the Blackfoot in Mr. Deeds. I like to change your socks, Mr. Deeds. So, like, what is big? I love me some Big Friendly. The Rams are loaded right now. Stafford, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Braden Fisk, Jared Verse, Quinnen Lake, Trent McDuffie, Young and Turner, Jalen Watson. They're loaded. But guess what? You want the truth on your team the last 2 years? You guys have been in big spots and you choked. That's what you've done. You should have beat the Eagles in Philadelphia in the snow. You didn't. You lost the NFC Championship game to the Seahawks. I think you're the team to beat this year. You guys are all in. Now go get the job done. Go win another championship. So there's my 1.5 minute take on the LA Rams just to satisfy the needs of one of my guys that I love in Big Friendly. You know, Big Friendly's not being that friendly right now, Garrett.
No, he's not. A little personal.
No, I love Big Friendly. He's a good dude. He really is. Did you see the Sean Miller stuff at the first four?
I saw. Are you talking about where the coach went out on the floor for the shot? Okay.
That was also great.
Yeah.
He almost
he thought
put
he
on
was
the ref for not
bro.
calling it a technical foul.
Yeah.
The assistant coach is losing his mind, and he runs out on the court because he was excited. And Sean Miller, I thought he was going to smack that kid on the chin like he was Bobby Knight or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. But no, so afterwards, there's a bunch of the game was played in Dayton, Ohio. There's a bunch of Xavier fans who drove to the game and were cheering for the other team. So at the end of the game, Sean Miller, I think he knows what's going on in that moment. There's a fan that goes to him horns down after he won. So he looked at the fan, laughed, and went horns down as well, which you do not want to go horns down, especially when the coach at Texas. A little bit weird. I once did horns down as a joke to Bijan Robinson, and his eyes lit up.
Butt hurt, dude.
Brian Jones goes, "You do that again." When I did every time I see him, I go horns down to BJ. He saw it at the Super Bowl. He was gonna punch me. So
poor little Texas babies.
Yeah. So anyway, the fan goes horns down to him after he won. So Sean Miller goes back horns down, and then he realized it was a Xavier fan, and he went like this, the X. He put up the X, which I just thought was interesting. But here's where I want to have the conversation. Sean Miller leaving Xavier for Texas. If I'm a Xavier fan, yeah, sure. I would want him to be my coach.
Right.
But the idea that these fans are going to treat him like it's Ed Cooley leaving Providence to go to Georgetown in the Big East, different. And this is not Georgetown, back in the day when you look how great with John Thompson and all those legendary teams that they had. To leave Providence for Georgetown a few years ago when Cooley did it, I thought was disgraceful. Even when Chris Beard, who took Texas Tech to a Final Four, and then he bolted for Texas, like that I didn't love, jumping in conference. But for Sean Miller, who's been at Xavier, had a great run, then went to Arizona, then came back, and I understand, all right, because of what happened with the FBI situation and all that. We gave him another chance.
Yeah.
Arizona wasn't moving on from Sean Miller until he started losing games. It's the same thing with Will Wade. They wanted to keep it until he started losing games. That just happens. So Miller came back, and then Texas comes calling. Yeah. Would you rather, like, the Big East? I love the Big East. It's not sensational anymore.
No.
And you could go coach in the SEC at Texas. It's a no-brainer to me.
It's not. And honestly, like the money alone, like you have so much funding there to work with that you can't match that if you're Xavier. I don't understand that. Like you should be appreciative that he came back and he gave you what he did, and honestly be like, look, you've accepted a step up. Go be great. Go be great and be successful. That's how I would view it, but a lot of people are irrational.
So Sean Miller in his career at Xavier the first time, 17-12, 21-11, round to 64, 25-9, round to 32, 30-7 to the Elite Eight, 27-8 to the Sweet 16. Goes to Arizona, made the NCAA tournament in his second year there, Elite Eight, then made it to the Sweet 16, then made it to the Elite Eight, round to 64, Sweet 16, round to 64. Then he had the 3 years that weren't great, and then he was out of a job. Goes back to Xavier, makes it to the Sweet 16 in the first year, then the NIT, and then the round to 64, and he leaves to go to Texas. Like, I don't understand. Now, 2 years removed, the hatred of the Xavier fans on that one.
Makes no sense.
I don't get, like, hey, if Pitino leaves you from Xavier, right? Rick's kid who's there, Richard Pitino, after 1 year or, it would be 1 year, two. No, this is his second year there, I believe, right?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think he replaced it. Yeah, because, is this Sean Miller's first year at Texas? Yeah, it's his first year.
Yeah, it's first year at Texas.
Oh, yeah. So it is a fresh wound. I apologize on that. But still, like, the hatred to have after him leaving for a year, like, I don't know. That one just doesn't really make sense to me.
It's Texas. Like, you leave to go to that job. It's one of the premier jobs, no matter the sport, in college athletics. It just is. So you shouldn't be pissed if somebody's going to take that job, especially coming from Xavier.
And, like, to be clear, like, if Richard Pitino leaves Xavier, and I know Rick Pitino said this is not going to be the case, but if he leaves Xavier to go back to a school that he went to in Providence in the Big East, that's different.
Totally different.
I think you have every right to MF him. But Sean Miller, like, I said this at the time when he left, but I understood the fans were outraged and they were trying to basically steal the Providence shtick. It's completely different here. Yeah, completely different.
Totally different.
Let's do this, as it is a Zach Gelb show right here on 365 Sports. I just want to give you the scores. We'll take a break. We'll come on back, and we'll talk to a little Jeremiah Love and some NFL draft questions. We have 2 games in the books right now. Nebraska's off to round number 2, their first NCAA tournament win ever, 76-47 over Troy. TCU holds on to beat Ohio State 66-64. Other games that are in play right now, second half just underway, 58 seconds into the second half. High Point 41, Wisconsin 41, so something to circle there. Louisville, after losing Michael Brown, that their stud freshman for the first 2 games of the tournament. He's not going to play in the opening weekend or the opening week of the NCAA tournament. So the first 2 games, they are pummeling South Florida 51-35, and Duke and Siena is about to tip off at 3 p.m. Eastern time and following up at 3:15 p.m. Eastern time. You got McNeese and Vanderbilt. I'll ask you this question, Garrett. What is going to be the upset today?
Ooh.
Like, not an 8-9. I know we already saw TCU beat Ohio State. You got Wisconsin and High Point. That's a 5-12. Louisville, South Florida, not looking like the case. No. You got Duke, Siena. That's a 1-16. Vanderbilt, McNeese, 5-12. Michigan State, 3. North Dakota State, 14. Arkansas, 4. Hawaii, 13. UNC, 6. VCU, 11. Michigan 1, Howard 16, BYU 6, Texas 11, St. Mary 7, Texas A&M 10, Illinois 3, Pennsylvania 14, Georgia 8, St. Louis 9, Gonzaga 3, Kennesaw State 14, Houston 2, Idaho 15. Give me an upset today.
I'm riding with High Point over Wisconsin. That's the one I picked. And then the other one that I picked, which I'm taking Texas to beat BYU. And I picked BYU to flop in the first round, regardless if it would have been Texas or NC State, just because I didn't like how they played down the stretch.
Yeah.
But still, with those kind of being brand on brands, I don't know if you call that a technical upset, but if you're looking for like a group of 5 versus our mid-major versus a power 4, give me High Point over Wisconsin for the upset.
I usually like, my rule of thumb is the 2.5 point spreads. That's a large man behind you, by the way. Hello, Paul. How are you? He has no clue what I'm saying.
No.
It would have been funny when he was waving to me. I'm like, shut
It
your
was
effing
perfect
mouth.
timing. It was perfect timing, too.
Whenever it's like a 2.5 point spread, I like to take the dog in college basketball. So I picked St. Louis over Georgia, but that's a 9-8, so that's not crazy.
That's not really,
I did take Texas A&M, which is a 10-7. I like the Aggies. You know what? BYU, Texas. I picked BYU.
Did you?
But that was because I had to fill out the bracket on Tuesday before I even knew like who was going to prevail. Right. So I did go with BYU, but you're probably right. I could see Texas winning today.
Yeah, they easily could. But at the same time, like if you're BYU, like in general, all of the money you've invested into that program, especially with DeBanza, he's got to go on a run. And he's got to, dude.
And my favorite one of the day, Andrew, VCU to beat UNC.
I took that one as well.
So I got
VCU on like 2 rounds.
Ever since they beat Duke right at the end of that game, and I was doing that game for Compass. So they end up losing Caleb Wilson. They lost to Miami. They beat Pitt. They lost to NC State. They beat Syracuse. Give them credit. They beat Louisville. They beat Virginia Tech. They beat Clemson. Then they lost to Duke, and they lost the opening round of the NCAA in the ACC tournament to Clemson. And they don't have Caleb Wilson back.
Right.
That's a team I don't think is trending in the right direction, where VCU surprisingly goes out there and wins the A-10. I think momentum going to carry over. And Phil Martelli Sr. knows a thing or two about March Madness.
Yep.
His son grew up always watching. His son has had success so far at Bryant and now at VCU. That's my favorite upset pick of the day. All right, Adam Schefter has an update on the NFL draft. We will tell you what it is next. It is the Zach Gelb Show right here on 365 Sports.
Thanks. I'm having an issue with Ralph.
With Ralph?
He keeps stealing my lunch.
He's just researching new flavors.
That is slow smoked turkey.
Ralph steals my lunch all the time. You get used to it.
He also peed on my bag.
He is warming up to you. You know, starting a new job, it's a big change. I want you to think about how you can be more accommodating to Ralph. We're all co-owners here.
If I'm only wearing one suit this summer, it has to be Tuileries Performance Linen. It's wrinkle resistant, machine washable, and built with stretch and breathability that actually moves with you. It'll keep you cool, sharp, and stress-free at your next event.
What does being different mean to me? You know, that is an interesting question.
Because there really isn't one way. There's a bunch of different ways you could do it.
But love is passion. Something you can't live without. What do you want?
What's that really good non-alcoholic beer I keep hearing about?
Do you have that really great non-alcoholic beer that I keep seeing?
You mean athletic? You're looking at it.
It's athletic. Ask for it. He's live. He's nationwide. This is the Zach Gelb Show. Here's your host, Zach Gelb.
All righty, welcome back in. It is the Zach Gelb Show on 365 Sports. I had a little issue last night, Garrett Ross. A little bit of an issue.
What happened with you?
So I told you yesterday, right? Show's gonna end.
Right.
Go to the gym, start the laundry process, and then afterwards make myself dinner.
Yep.
Dinner went off flawlessly. I had I made some fried rice. I put some chicken sausage in it, some broccoli. During the week, I eat like the same thing. I do rice, I do broccoli or string beans, and then the protein I'll switch up. Like some week I'll go shrimp, some week I'll go grilled chicken. Other weeks I'll do chicken meatballs, but it's pretty much that same substance. And then it's like, all right, do you go rice? Do you go couscous? Do you go a salad? Like, that's pretty much what I do dinner.
Right.
I try to do that 5 days a week. So dinner goes off without a hitch. Gym, obviously good. And then I'm doing my laundry. Wash, dry, perfect, sitting on my couch, fold all the clothes, put all the clothes away. And I sit down last night to watch some TV, and I fell asleep on the couch for about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to stand up. And when I stand up, I just hear like a boom, like a pop, right when I stood on the laundry bucket, like the basket. So I'm like, what the heck did I just do? I didn't realize, or I didn't remember, because I had it was a huge load of laundry coming back from my trip, and I just didn't, I had a little bit in the laundry basket when I left, and added a lot more when I came back from the trip.
Yeah.
And how about you? I overpack.
I typically do.
I didn't super overpack this time, but when I pack one suitcase, even if you separate the dirty clothes and when it sits in a suitcase on a flight and then I have to wash everything.
Yes.
So I washed everything. So when I was going down to laundry room, I said, "Oh, let me." There's we have 10 machines and then a super duper laundry one where if you have a huge load of laundry, you pay $2 extra you could put it in there. So I didn't know what was going to be open. It's my only gripe with my building. I hate the communal laundry system. We have a great gym, steam sauna. The apartment's great, but the communal laundry, I wish I had a unit in my actual apartment.
Right.
So I walked down with 2 pods, and I ended up getting the super duper washer machine, so I didn't need both the pods. So I put the pod in the bottom of the laundry basket, and what I stepped on was the pod. And the pod just exploded all over the laundry bag.
Man.
Now, I've had this laundry bag for a while. It's a good laundry bag. It's a good circular laundry bag. But I'm like, what, am I going to go wash this?
Right.
So I just threw it out. So what I'm annoyed is I got to go to Target. The opening day of the NCAA tournament, I don't want to do anything but watch college basketball.
No, that's all you should do.
I want to just sit on the couch and watch college basketball. So I did my workout this morning, right? I had everything go, but I know now, because I'm a little type A when it comes to this. I can't push things off. I got to do them within 24 hours. So I know I have to go to Target, which is only a 15-minute walk from me. But when the show ends, all I want to do is just sit on the couch. The only thing I really want to do is make dinner. And I know you can play the small violin, woe is me. Oh, this guy's bitching and complaining after having to work for 2 hours and he has to go walk 15 minutes at Target. But it's just an inconvenience. It's something that I didn't need to do. And I'm looking at the range of these laundry baskets. It's you see some are $12. Then you see some are $50. And I want a laundry basket that's going to be able to hold an appropriate amount of clothes. I do laundry once a week. Once a week, I try to do it. But this was a good laundry, so may it rest in peace, the laundry basket. But I had no clue what the heck I did last night when I stepped on this thing.
So was it just in the bag, or did it get all up in your floor and stuff too?
No, just on the bag.
Okay,
and
I was up on that.
And I was so tired last night.
Yeah.
I usually stay up late. I went to bed pretty early last night because I know tonight's going to be a late night. I got my fantasy baseball draft tonight, which I hate that we're doing this on the first day of the NCAA tournament, but I want to watch the games. And at least I sit on my couch, do the draft, got the 2 TVs set up. I'll be able to watch all the game. I know it's going to be a late night. I probably won't go to bed tonight till 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. Eastern time because I want to watch all the games. But that laundry basket, when I stepped in it last night, I was so tired. Still run down from the weekend. I haven't got a good night's sleep. Mm-hmm. And when I stepped on it, that was my fear. I go, if this is now in the carpet, if this is on the floor, I would have stayed there and cleaned that part. But since it was just in the bag, I placed the bag next to the door. And then in the morning, I assess the damage and I go, there's no safe in this bag.
Well, at least it was just the bag. I hate that you have to go out and do that and wrangle all that.
Well, imagine if the pot exploded on the clean clothes after washing them. That would have been the worst.
That would have been, I don't think you could have topped that.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that Target has a good supply of laundry bags. So I was going to order ahead. I saw a few online that I liked that would be available in store for pickup, but I don't know. Like, I got to see the laundry bag. Sometimes the photos could be a little bit misleading.
A little deceiving.
Yeah. So anyway, it is the Zach Gelb show right here on 365 Sports. That was my random thought of the day. Random thought of the day. And when things happen in my life, you gotta be a relatable talk show host. You just gotta say things. Have you had any hiccups in the house recently?
Recently,
because you have 2 kids, right?
Got 2 kids. Yeah, the daughter came back from college. She's trying to figure out her life. So,
that's right. You have a daughter in college and a son who's like
I got
10?
a 20-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old son.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
20-year-old age there on the daughter. Probably a lot of different moods, right?
It's
like basketball. It's a game of runs.
It's a game of runs. You got your good days. You got your bad days. We vibe pretty well. We got a cool bond. But, yeah, sometimes she gets on my damn nerves. But that's just natural. But, yeah. No, nothing major's happened. I'm trying to think. No big house issues as of late.
Oh, okay.
No drama.
You know, I may gotta text the Ross household. You know, let's turn up the act a little bit at home. Let's give Dad some crap. Yeah. When he makes you dinner tonight, just throw it across the table. Be like, Uncle Zach told me I could do that.
I'm not eating this shit.
So let's get into this Adam Schefter clip. This is Adam Schefter on the ESPN, or I gather it's his podcast. One of those. I just got to make sure that we source everything somewhat correctly. This is Adam Schefter talking about the status of Jeremiah Love in the NFL draft.
Cam Ward into the type of player that he has the talent to be as the former number 1 overall pick last year, then the Titans can be, I'm not telling you they had the kind of season that the Patriots had last year, but they could go to the playoffs next year.
Yeah.
They could go to the playoffs. If Cam Ward is turned around and if Cam Ward is up to his potential, playing up to his potential from Dayball, watch out for the Titans. That's right.
Yeah, and that's before, they've been linked to Jeremiah Love in the draft too, who a lot of people think he might be the best player in the draft. You don't think
he might
so?
be the best player in the draft. That would surprise me if he's at 4. I think the Jeremiah Love watch starts at 5 with the Giants, and it's on from 5 through 9.
Okay.
5. I mean, here's the thing: would the Chiefs still take Jeremiah Love having paid Kenneth Walker? You know what I say to that? If the Falcons could take Michael Penix after he paid Kirk Cousins $100 million, then the Chiefs could take Jeremiah Love having paid Kenneth Walker what they did in free agency.
Yeah, and you can play him virtually anywhere on the field. I think he showed that enough. But yeah, so we'll see. I'm excited that the Titans at least, it doesn't seem like they're just punting on another season. They understand how important it is that Cam Ward takes a big leap, and having Dave.
So let me ask you this, Garrett. I'm going to start backwards here, where I thought how this was envisioned to go. With Travis Etienne going to the Saints at 8, and Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs at 9. If Jeremiah Love's on the board at 8 or 9, do you think either will select him?
Probably not. But Schefter kind of sold me there on the Chiefs grabbing him and pairing him up. I don't know if they would do it, but that would be interesting.
You have reporter Schefter, and then you have talk show host Schefter.
Yeah.
Like get up Schefter, I would say.
Yeah.
That seemed like more get up Schefter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think first off, I don't think he's going to be available at 8 or 9.
I don't either.
I don't think that either the Saints or the Chiefs now are going to take him because of the money that they invested in Etienne, as in Travis Etienne. It's so Travis stupid. Etienne.
Yes.
Like, you let everyone call you ATN for 10 years. You can't now just say, I'm Etienne. Like, ridiculous. And then you got Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs. I think that will take him out of the market for Jeremiah Love with how many holes that they do have. So now do this. Number 1 pick in the draft, the Raiders, Mendoza, right?
Mendoza.
Who do you think is going to be the 2nd pick in the draft to the JATS Jets?
Man, probably David Bailey. Like, to me, you need to get an elite pass rusher. Like, if you get an elite pass rusher in this league, I think that's important. They're always dysfunctional on offense. I think you've got to grab him. I don't think you could pass him up if you're the Jets and if he's sitting there.
Okay, 3, the Cardinals. Who are they taking?
Oh God, dude.
Arvell Reese, Mawanoa.
Probably either Reese. Probably Reese.
Okay. Tennessee then on the board at 4. So you could go Sonny Styles. You could go Reuben Bain. You could go Caleb Downs. You could go Carnell Tate.
I would probably say Sonny Styles.
Okay.
I'd probably say Sonny Styles.
Did the Giants then take Jeremiah Love at 5?
They probably could, because you don't know right now. Like, I'm sure Cam Scatterby is going to come back and he's going to be healthy. But if you have an opportunity to grab a player like Jeremiah Love and pair him on that offense, which I think is going to be really damn explosive and dangerous in the next couple of years, you've got to do that.
I'm curious now, a little bit removed from the combine, what people are saying. Eric Edholm, who works for NFL.com, he put out his latest mock draft. Mendoza's 1, Arvell Reese is 2. Now, I actually agree with you. Bailey should be 2, but I think it's going to be Arvell Reese.
That's fine.
Bailey's then 3 to the Cardinals. He still has Tennessee taking Jeremiah Love 4, and then Sonny Styles going 5 to the Giants.
I mean, that would be interesting. I think it would be smart if the Titans could grab another young player, but I don't know if that's the move they're going to do.
I actually like this mock draft that he has. He has the Browns taking Mawanoa, the Commanders taking Tate, the Saints going Bain, Mansour Delane, the cornerback out of LSU, going to the Chiefs 9, and then Caleb Downs going to the Bengals 10. Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to take a cornerback. They just lost 2 of their corners.
Yeah, I get that. But Delane, to me, I would never expect him going that early in the draft.
You know what? I was mocking, or I was starting to craft up my next mock draft. I actually, that was the corner I had the Chiefs going for, Delane. Yeah, I'm not. There's like 3 corners in the draft that could be the first one off the board. I ended up just going with him. Now let me just see one more here. Let's go CBS Sports mock draft. I'm just curious if after the Schefter stuff, which has been out there now for about 24 hours, if anyone sits there and they change up their drafts that much. Now, Mike Renner, he put out a mock draft 2 days ago. Now, this was 2 days ago. So the Schefter stuff wasn't out there yet.
Right.
Mendoza 1, Arvell Reese 2, Spencer Fano 3, Reuben Bain 4, Sonny Styles 5. Oh, this is interesting.
That's actually.
So he has Mendoza to the Raiders, Arvell Reese to the Jets, Spencer Fano to the Cardinals, Reuben Bain 4 to the Titans, Sonny Styles 5 to the Giants, Monroe Freeling, the tackle out of Georgia, to the Browns. Dun, 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 dun. All you need is love. Jeremiah Love going to your Washington Commanders at 7.
Oh, man, dude. I would take that in a heartbeat.
If I'm a Commanders fan and they get Jeremiah Love in the draft, and you could line them up in the red zone with Jaden Daniels and then Jeremiah Love, it feels like Saquon and Jalen Hurts. It feels like Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. If Jeremiah Love is on the board at 7, meaning you'll have Tennessee pass up on him, you'll have the Giants pass up on him, because none of those other, I don't think the Cardinals are taking him. None of those other teams are going to take him. If Jeremiah Love is on the board at 7 for the Washington Commanders, don't tell me, oh, you can't take a running back in the top 10, blah, 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 blah. Like all you analytic nerds, it would be so fun to see Jaden Daniels healthy with Jeremiah Love. Now, you're still going to need another wide receiver down the road. I don't think Terry McLaurin's going to last long there with the Commanders. Seems like he's on his way out. But you could then go get a big target at the wide receiver position later in the draft. That could be fun for the Washington Commanders.
It could. And when you're looking at it, Krosky Merritt's a smaller back. You could bring that would pair really nicely. I would be all for that, honestly. I would love that.
And then he has Carnell Tate going to the Saints at 8. David Bailey falling all the way 9 to Kansas City.
I do not see him falling that far.
And then Caleb Downs going to the Bengals. If David Bailey goes to the Chiefs, I will be so upset.
That's not happening. I like the notion of Spencer Fano going to the Cardinals in that. I just don't think that's a sexy pick, and I don't think that would sit well with them. But I think it would be a smart move for their organization.
Let me see one more. Daniel Jeremiah is a good name for this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's load up Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock draft. Mendoza 1.
Okay.
Arvell Reese 2.
Okay.
Francis Mauanoa 3. That's to the Cardinals. He does have Jeremiah Love going 4 to Tennessee. Sonny Styles going 5th to the Giants. Cardinal Tate going 6 to the Browns. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Ho, ho. Reuben Bain going 7 to the Commanders.
I'd take that too.
Well, no, you wouldn't because David Bailey's not off the board yet.
Oh, yeah, true.
Bailey going 8 to the Saints. Spencer Fano going 9th to the Chiefs. Caleb Downs going 10 to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Do you really think Bailey will fall like that? I don't think he's going that far.
So if David Bailey doesn't go in the first 3 picks, and I do think right now Mendoza and Reese are going to be the first 2 picks,
Mm-hmm.
I could see the Cardinals taking a lineman. Like, I don't think that's crazy. After that, like, Tennessee, I don't think they pass up on Bailey if he's there. The Giants, I could see them passing on a pass rusher. If Bailey's there at 6, imagine Myles Garrett with David Bailey.
Dude, that would be sick.
If Bailey's there at 7 for the Commanders, they got to take him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Bailey's going to fall in range to where some of these guys, like to 7th. That would be
I just
wild
don't see
to me.
it. I don't see that happening.
It would just be a player who's been disrespected.
Yeah.
Who all he does is produce.
Yeah.
Wow, Sienna's up early, 22-16 over Duke.
Yeah, it won't last long.
Early.
That's not going to last long.
All right, so the Jeremiah Love question right now.
Okay.
Jeremiah Love, you have him on the Giants?
Probably. If he's there, I think it would make a lot of sense.
I don't think pass rusher for the Giants. They could go wide receiver, but you got Neighbors coming back.
I'm not big on taking a wide receiver like early. Like, I think there's so many of them that you can get a good quality receiver later on.
I think the debate for the Giants, one way or another, and it depends if Styles is there. Sonny Styles against Jeremiah Love. That's what I think the debate's going to be. Maybe if I had to squeeze in a third name, I would say Downs, just because Harbaugh does love himself a safety. But even though the Giants got Tremaine Edmonds, I don't think that takes them out of the mix for Sonny Styles. I would actually say right now, Love to the Giants. And I know a lot of Giants fans may be like, oh, well, they drafted Saquon early. You can't do that, blah, 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 blah. Like, you put Dart with Neighbors, with Love.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That's you have some identity. You have some excitement for a franchise that hasn't had it. And remember, not that Harbaugh has always had a great back, but he did recently go bring in Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Early on, they had Ray Rice. So they've had some running backs during his time with the Baltimore Ravens. And Harbaugh is now an old school coach. And what do old school coaches like to do?
Run it.
Run the damn football.
And the Giants always have a running back. Like that, I just always picture the Giants having good running backs.
Yeah, they had Tiki Barber. They had Saquon. They've had some backs. There's no doubt about it. They've had some backs. Otis Anderson, who won a Super Bowl MVP. So they've had some backs, but yeah, Love feels like a hardball player. He does. But the Tennessee decision is fascinating to me because Sal is a defensive-minded head coach. I tend to agree. Like, they could go wide receiver. I don't think they're taking a wide receiver that early, but if they do at 4, I don't think it's crazy because you're trying to surround Cam Ward with more talent. They did just sign Wan'Dale Robinson, a 4-year, $70 million contract. He's not a number 1 wide receiver. You still got Calvin Ridley there. So I don't think it's going to be a wide receiver. I think it's going to be I think it could be Bailey. I think it could be Sonny Styles. Or I would say it's Love. But Schefter dismissing Love to Tennessee when everyone's throwing that out there.
Yeah.
It's the tricky part here because Schefter's so reliable.
Yeah, he's still locked in. You got to believe you're take it.
And there's been so much smoke out there. I don't like. Does Schefter get used? Is there a Titan source out there that's like, no, put it out there that we don't want him. We're not interested because they're now fearing that maybe a team's going to move up to where the Cardinals are at 3, where all these teams are talking about. It's not really pass rusher. Like, are they fearing the Giants move up from 5 to 3 to just to jump them? And then if Arizona falls back to 5, they'll still get a lineman. Like, none of those other teams are probably going to take a lineman inside the top 5. So I wonder how true that is. But now knowing that, Schefter doesn't think Tennessee's going to take him, I'm kind of back in on the Giants doing so. Like I'll tell you this. This is what I threw out on my computer last night.
Okay.
And this was before I saw the Schefter video. I had Mendoza 1, Reese 2 to the Jets, Bailey 3 to the Cardinals, Love 4 to Tennessee, Styles going to the Giants, Mawanoa going to Cleveland, Downs going to the Commanders, Tate going to the Saints, Mansour Delane going to the Chiefs, and Ruben Bain going to the Bengals. I have to go back to the drawing board because I do kind of feel like now the Cardinals are going to take a lineman. I do kind of feel like now Tennessee's going to pass up on Jeremiah Love. So I got to go back to the drawing board. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow on a Friday.
Yeah, that'd be a good toss. A good test to do.
A little football Friday kind of feel. Do my latest mock draft. Now I got 2 other draft questions for you right now.
All right.
Because the Love one is a big one to me. And I already gave you which pass rusher is going to go at 2. So I really only have one more question. Okay. And you think are we in agreement there? We both think it should be Bailey, but it will be Reese. Are we in agreement there?
I would say that. I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
We kind of touched on this, but now let's do a full dive on it.
Okay.
When will the first wide receiver go?
Ooh.
Like that to me, the first wide receiver going, when is it going to be? So the Raiders obviously not taking a wide receiver at 1. The Jets aren't at 2. The Cardinals, I don't see them taking a wide receiver at 3.
No.
Tennessee probably no. The Giants could, but I'd still probably say no, right?
Yeah, I think they've got receivers. I think they address a different position early on, and if one falls to you later, they grab it then. But I don't see them grabbing a receiver that early.
Cleveland at 6?
They could, but I don't think it would really help anything. I think it would no.
Commanders at 7?
No, like I said, I think no. There's plenty of other issues that you need to address that position.
Saints at 8?
That would be the one where I would say more than likely in the top 10, but I don't think they pulled the trigger.
I would say the Saints are going to take a wide receiver.
You think so? I mean, they're the most sense. I just don't know that they will.
Like, if I'm betting on a team in the top 10 to take a wide receiver,
it's got to be them.
I'm going to say it's the Saints. And you have Shuck, so you give him something around there. Kellen Moore, offensive-minded head coach. But can you see the Chiefs taking a wide receiver?
Yeah, because you don't know what's going to happen
with Rice.
Outside of that, like Kelsey's older. I could see it. I don't know if they would, but I could see them doing it.
I don't know how likely it is.
Yeah.
Just because when you get rid of 2 corners.
Exactly.
And I know now you have 2 first-round picks. Don't you have to at least take a corner early?
Yep.
And then maybe you circle around with that second pick that you have, because that pick is at, 29? Because they got the second Rams pick.
Well, you can get a receiver then. That would make sense.
That's like if Omar Cooper is there or if Concepcion is there.
I'd grab his ass quick right there.
Yeah. So I would say the Chiefs aren't going to take a receiver at 9. Bengals aren't going to take a receiver at 10. You know who could take a wide receiver? The Dolphins at 11.
You need one now.
Now they they got that pick from Denver at 30. So it's like, what is it? The same conversation that you're having with the Chiefs. I would say it's actually more likely that the Dolphins take a wide receiver at 11 than the Chiefs do at 9, and here's why. I think this regime wants to give Malik Willis a chance. You get rid of Jalen Waddle, okay, maybe you don't love the player. you use that pick at 11, even though that wasn't in the Waddle trade, for a wide receiver, even especially if it's the first one off the board. And you can make that determination if you want Mekhi Lemon, if you want Carnell Tate, if you want Jordan Tyson, and you give Willis something to work with. And if you keep Devon Achane, it's okay. You're traded, let's say, when you jump back in at 30 and you pick up a lineman, or you pick back a defensive player or whatever it is. That's how you end up building some more depth on the roster and still trying to evaluate what Malik Willis is. Other teams that could take a wide receiver. Cowboys know at 12. The Rams at 13. I know you may think that sounds crazy, but Devontae Adams is getting older.
Right.
Puka Nacua is a heck of a player. They've already done so much on the defensive side of the ball. The Rams are a team where you could take a chance on a wide receiver and then you just have a great trifecta.
Yeah, you could.
Other teams that could be in the market for a wide receiver. Ravens at 14. I don't think they'll take one, but I would actually like them to do so. The Bucks at 15. I know you have Emeka Ibuka.
Yeah, but you need help now.
And you got Chris Godwin. And you lost Evans, but that team has so many holes, especially defensively. The Jets at 16 could definitely take a wide receiver. Lions probably not. Vikings probably not. Panthers, I guess you could. I know you have Tet McMillan. Cowboys, no. Steelers, no. Chargers, potentially at 22. If the Eagles trade AJ, or thinking about trading AJ Brown, maybe they do at 23, but probably not. And that's where you could just kind of stop doing this, because then who knows how many are going to be on the board. So I'm going to say the Saints take a wide receiver. That's going to be the first wide receiver off the board right now. Would be my guess right there.
Do you think the Rams would trade back?
They could.
Like, you're set up. Like, do you think, would they need to? Or that's where I kind of keep going back to that.
I would say they could. I would not.
Okay.
Because I would try to be getting the best amount of players with how long Stafford is there. Right. You know what I would actually do? I think people are going to think this is crazy. I really think people will believe this is crazy. Wouldn't you call up the Raiders? Guys, you guys got 2 first-round picks from the Ravens. Now you don't got them back.
Yeah.
This is the only call I'm making to you. You either say yes or no. I'll give you the 13th pick in the draft for Max Crosby.
Ooh.
That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. 13th pick in the draft for Max Crosby.
Man, that would be tempting.
You put Crosby with Verse, with Fisk, with Lake, with McDuffie. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you trade a 13th overall pick for a Super Bowl championship?
Hell yeah, I would. And
Exactly.
They've proven that they'll go all in for one.
Now, the thing is, though, the Rams, because they made that trade with the Falcons last year, that's why they're there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be curious what they do. Oh, boy. Oh, this would really be unfair. You know who Jeremiah has him at 13?
Who?
Mekhi Lemon.
Ooh.
If you put Mekhi Lemon with Puka
Stay in
Nacua,
LA too.
Devontae Adams, and Kyron Williams,
yeah,
that's going to be tough to pass up.
That
And the
makes
Rams, the guy Eric has him taking Spencer Fano.
Okay.
I
think I'm telling you, he's one of my favorite players in this draft. I know a lot of people are sleeping on him. I think he's going to be.
I know I just said that they should make that trade for Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they will, though.
I don't think they will either, but it would it's worth shooting a shot if you want to.
Yeah, and I know Crosby came out and he said he's gonna be a Raider and he's not gonna get traded.
He's leaving.
I think he's playing this. Maybe it could pick back up at the trade deadline, but I think to start the season he's gonna be there.
Absolutely is.
Let's do this. We'll run through some scores right now, then we'll take a break. Zach Gelb Show 365 Sports. 7:23 left, Garrett Ross, in the first half. Siena 31, Duke 22.
That's a little shocking. I'm not going to lie. I thought Duke would have closed the gap by now. I'm really interested to see this second half.
Wisconsin is up 70-65 on High Point. That is a 5-12 game with 4:28 to go. It's early.
Yeah.
Early for McNeese and Vanderbilt. But everyone was telling me how much they love Vanderbilt going into this tournament. I did not pick Vanderbilt to lose to McNeese. But a lot of people were like I saw Christopher Mad Dog Russo pick Vanderbilt to go to his Final Four. I had Vanderbilt out in the round of 32, losing to. Yeah,
I had McNeese beating Vandy.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. When people get hot on a team, I like to take them out earlier, because then I could really capitalize. So I wasn't taking McNeese to. Didn't John Morant play at McNeese? Am I getting that wrong?
I don't know. He played at
with the coach with McMahon.
Yeah, was he at McNeese?
Mercer,
He was
Murray
at
State.
Murray State. That's where he was. He was at Murray State.
He
went to McNeese.
Yeah, McMahon and I actually had a good relationship for a while when he was at Murray State.
Well, it's not going well for him right now.
Yeah, I haven't really heard from him.
No, it ain't going well for him right now, brother.
Yeah. So I ended up picking the Commodores to tap out in the second round, but it's early. McNeese is up 19-12 over Vanderbilt with 13-13 remaining in the first half. 3:19 remaining in the game. Brown is out for this weekend for Louisville. Louisville is up by 7 up against USF. So that is at 77-70 right now. It is the Zach Gelb Show right here on 365 Sports. We'll talk some more March Madness next. But first, Nebraska, let me just give you those finals. 76-47 winners over Troy. And TCU did hold on right at the end. Jamie Dixon moving on into the second round, defeating Ohio State 66-64. We'll take a timeout. Come on back.
The 4-burner, side sear burner with Clearview Glass stainless steel grill from Monument Grills. Made of tempered glass, which is strong, insulated, and allows you to check your grilling without lifting the lid. Our porcelain-coated cast iron cooking grids offer a large cooking surface of 513.3 square inches, primary cooking area, with even heat cooking. The Monument Grills include LED control knobs and are easy to light with pilotless electronic ignition. Better grilling, better value, Monument Grills.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
I'm Abby Dommett, 2023 CrossFit Games athlete, and I use Airwave because it helps me breathe easier and stay more relaxed during my workouts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very discreet.
He's live. He's nationwide. This is the Zach Gelb Show. Here's your host, Zach Gelb.
All righty, welcome back in. It is the Zach Gelb Show right here on 365 Sports. You know, I haven't placed a bet, Garrett, in a while. NFL season, I bet pretty frequently. Mm-hmm. College basketball, yeah, this time of the year, obviously I will bet.
Right.
The NBA, it's too obnoxious to bet because I don't really do a lot of the in-game betting.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's just too tough to figure out who's going to play, who's not. A team could be up 15 the entire game in the last few the last few minutes, you end up losing and it gets down to 4. So I'm going to fire up my app right now because I'm just curious. I'm not saying I'm going to do this, but I'm just blindly going to look with Duke being down right now to Siena with 3:49 in the first half. It's 35-26 Duke. I am curious what the live line is on Duke. How many points do you think Duke is still going to be projected to win by?
I would say probably about 6.
Well, if it's 6, I don't see how I don't bet that. I'm going to say it's like 8.5 would be my guess, though.
Okay.
All right, let me find it. Duke Siena. Oh, why is it not popping up?
Duke blocked it.
Oh, no, you know what?
What?
It could actually be, hold on. Could be a situation. Siena Saints basketball. I think that this is.
Oh, you can't bet on them or something?
Yeah, because they technically are in New York.
Oh, I did not know y'all's rules.
Yeah, for college you cannot. There's something you can't bet college sports in New York or something like that.
Huh.
If it's a New York team, like for example, Wisconsin right now I know is a 2.5 point favorite up against High Point. That game is tied, by the way, and then Wisconsin just took the 2-point lead. And actually, it's funny. It's 78-76. I know this is going to get to 80-78. Yeah, there's 78, and then Wisconsin just got another bucket because that's how quickly the app is. And that's cable on my TV. So there's still even a delay like that. South Florida with 1:58 to go. They are a 6.5 point dog. Louisville is up 78-72. Don't love any of that.
No.
Oh,
and they never, Louisville's controlled that from the opening tip.
McNeese Vanderbilt. It's 21-15 McNeese. You have 11:18 to go in the first half. How many points do you still think Vanderbilt is a favorite by?
9.
7.5.
Oh, okay.
That seems fat. That seems really fat. So, I would have loved to have seen what was going to happen with that Duke Siena spread. Well, do you have an app? Just wondering.
I do not. So I've never actually placed a sports bet.
You've never placed a sports bet?
No. I've been to
kind of
Vegas.
Shocking.
Well, I know this stupid state. Everything's illegal.
Can you not gamble in Texas?
No, it's one of the dumbass states that you can't. They do everything forever and backwards here.
Well, don't start texting me to place your bets because that's a risky situation.
Yeah, I know some people that do it through Louisiana.
This High Point game is awesome, by the way.
Yeah,
High Point is now down by 1. It's 82-81 with 55 seconds to go. This could be the first like a 9 beating an 8 today with the Horned Frogs beating the Buckeyes. Is not a major upset. High Point taking down Wisconsin would be a big upset.
I need it, man. This is the one. This is my upset of the day I had. This would have VCU. I really need High Point to get this dub.
See, this is why I love the tournament, because you got High Point and Wisconsin right now. Where there's 55 seconds left and there's a chance Wisconsin's going to lose. And I would imagine most people will still be like you, Siena, they're up 35-28 up against Duke. But nobody actually thinks right now Siena is going to win this game. But it's just the intrigue and the thought it's in the first half and we're already having that conversation. And then if High Point gets the win, then everyone starts in that building. Everyone's then going to be like, High Point just beat Wisconsin. If Siena's still up by 6 or 7 points, then people start to think maybe it's going to happen with Siena.
And then you're going to get all the people that are like, well, we told you the ACC sucked this year. Duke had an easy path. You're going to hear all that noise start popping up as well.
And we're going to see if Louisville is about to get tight. Because now it's 1:37 to play. That game is now down to Louisville up 78-72 up against USF. And that's the other part of the tournament. You have a team pretty much leading the entire way, and then it's within 10 points with a few minutes to go. Asses get tight. Asses definitely get tight. And you see maybe teams that don't end up closing out. I like Pat Kelsey, though. I've always been a big fan of his, and I hope that they end up getting the victory. But Hodgson, the coach at USF, he's had a tremendous story. And you see he passed up Syracuse?
I did. Syracuse is I think they need to kind of evaluate where they're at in the modern landscape of college athletics.
I need somebody help. They need some help.
They need some help.
And you know what? See, I do not like Boeheim.
I could not stand him.
I think Boeheim is just an arrogant, pretentious coach. He made too many excuses. I know 3 years before he retired or got forced out, he made it to the Sweet 16, but he stayed way too long. Autry was an underwhelming coach that they ended up hiring, and they had some billionaire. Remember that guy? I think his last name was Weitzman, who would just show up to the games in Syracuse with Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Jalen Hurts, Brandon. He was dumping money into the program. Now, I don't know what happened, but a few years ago, they had a little split. And he's like, hey, they told me I'm persona non grata there. They didn't want me anymore. I had great memories in the Carrier Dome, great memories at Syracuse. I want to help. They should be on their hands and knees begging him to come on back because Providence is a fine job. I think it was Jeff Goodman who said, like, their NIL last year was like in between 10 to 11 million, where Syracuse is like more in the 8.5 range. Yeah, in the year of 2026, I'd rather be the coach at Providence than the coach at Syracuse. And that's a big problem for that institution in Syracuse because we know where are all those Syracuse fans? Where are all those media members? Ooh, I went to Syracuse. I went to Newhouse. I have a great education. And in March, I'm always shoving Syracuse basketball down your throats. Where are you guys now? Where are you? I'll tell you where you are. You're silent. A lot of fan weather fans out there. Now you're like, oh, our basketball program. Oh, you guys need help.
Yeah,
you guys just lost a coach. I don't know if he's going to take the Providence job, but that's the assumption. But he rather said, I'm going to tell Syracuse you're out of the running for me. I'm more interested in Providence than your sorry asses. So go to the Dinosaur Barbecue and order a rack of ribs right now and just soak in your tears. Oh, my God. McNamara probably should get that job, right?
Yeah, probably.
I know you just hired one of your own with Autry and it didn't work. But I would say McNamara probably is going to get that job now because he's going to want to go there.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You have these coaches that are legends and they get forced out or they retire and they want to hire they want the school to hire their own guys. Like Villanova. Who was the dude before they hired Willard? He was in studio with me a week and a half before he actually left Fordham to go to Villanova. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Damn, I can't remember the guy's name.
But he was a former Villanova assistant, former Villanova coach. What was his name? Oh, this is going to annoy me. After Willard, I could see his face too. Kyle Neptune.
Okay.
Like Kyle Neptune was the best that Villanova could do. UNC, I know he went to the championship the first game. Hubert Davis,
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
All right, Shire, he's been good. I can't crush that one. Autry after Boeheim. You look at it right there. We just mentioned a few schools. Neptune didn't work. They're already on Willard.
No.
Autry didn't work at Syracuse. Hubert Davis, I don't think he's winning a championship at UNC as the head coach. And Shire is working.
Yeah.
They lose to Siena. It could be a little bit of a different story.
A little bit different.
30 seconds left. Wisconsin and High Point. It's 82-81 High Point. You got 14 seconds on the shot clock. Wisconsin's got the ball. I can't do play-by-play, folks. I'm not doing play-by-play, okay? Hard take by Wisconsin. No good. High Point's going to get the basketball. Oh! They put it in. I thought it was a travel.
I'm behind you here, so let's see.
83-82. High Point has the lead up against Wisconsin with 10.7 seconds remaining. We got a timeout. The kid from High Point, I want them to show a replay. They're not going to call a travel in that spot.
I think I'm about to see the call. All right.
I think I saw a lot of steps there, though.
Oh, on the layup?
Yeah, let's see.
Dude, he took two steps.
Yeah, you're right. It was. He just
it was how he caught it, though.
He
was
hesitated.
He was mid when he caught the ball.
Siena, by the way, 37 seconds left in the first half. They're up on Duke 43-32. Louisville 78-72 with 30 and a half seconds remaining. And McNeese, their lead up against Vanderbilt with 6:48 remaining in the first half, is down to 6. They're up 26-20 on Vanderbilt. Let's do this. I am not getting off the air until regulation is over.
We are seeing the end
between Wisconsin and High Point. How about High Point?
Dude, I'm telling you.
Didn't the Alabama guard try to transfer there in the last second?
I honestly do not know.
That wasn't a serious comment. It's because he had 2.2 pounds of marijuana. High Point.
My bad. I was locked into the game.
Yeah.
I missed the show.
Do you know where High Point is located? Just wondering.
I'm assuming it's in New York.
No, North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. Okay.
7 seconds to go. Wisconsin, hard take blocked. Oh, my God. High Point gets fouled. They're going to the charity stripe with 1.6 seconds left.
Let's go.
Oh, my God. That was effing off. There's two guys in Fred Flintstone costumes in the crowd. Oh,
so I'm at 11.7 right now on it. I'm about to see what you just watched.
I'm at 1.6. So Wisconsin took the timeout. Oh, that's a heck of a job by High Point. Just make your free throws.
Oh, yeah, he blocked it.
And then you just got to make sure that you hold off the half court heave. Oh, he was right there. Oh, a great block. There was two defenders on him. And it was another guy that just moved over and blocked it at the last second.
We're looking at halftime right now. Siena 43, Duke 32.
Gotcha. And it looks like Louisville's going to hold on. 13 seconds remaining. That's now 81-74. Louisville is up on USF, so it looks like Louisville is going to survive and advance. So my bracket is about to get not busted, but I'm going to have my first wrong pick of the day. I had Wisconsin over High Point.
Oh, well, so I'm still in the run for the billion, so I'll cut you in, I guess.
Look at that. Yeah, you know, you give me like $50 million if you want to $1 billion.
You know how we do.
There is 1 second left. There's 2.1 seconds left. High Point is up on Wisconsin, 83-82. Greg Gard looks like he doesn't even know it just hit him. The Wisconsin head coach. The Wisconsin player is clapping his hands though. He's like all giddy and excited. You know, maybe
he's about to be in the portal.
So here we go. 2 free throws. First one is no good. Oh my God.
Don't do this to me.
It was a 1-and-1. So you don't get 2 free throws. I didn't even see if they're in the bonus or not. And Wisconsin immediately called the timeout.
Damn.
So they have not showed you how much time is left on the clock. I thought they were in the bonus, though. I guess they weren't. So they still say there's 2.1 seconds remaining here.
Okay, so I'm just now at the missed free throw.
Wisconsin is playing High Point. They get whoever wins this game will get the winner of Arkansas and Hawaii. Yeah, 1.8. So you have a chance to get a shot off here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this would be absolute mayhem. 81-76, 10.5 seconds left between Louisville and South Florida. USF just made that bucket to make it 81-76. South Florida just made that bucket to make it 81-76. And we have 83-82. High Point between Wisconsin. High Point went to the charity stripe. It was a 1-and-1. Missed the first free throw. Now there's a timeout for Wisconsin. We'll take you up until the conclusion of regulation here. And then that's how we got a wrap-up show for today. Oh, my God. I would at least put this ball on the backboard, all right?
Yeah.
Like, don't have an air. I at least want to see it either rim out or go through. Like, at least give me a bank or something here. It's not Sunday. The banks are open, all right? 1.8 seconds remaining.
Oh.
High Point is up 83-82. Now, Wisconsin's underneath the basket because they called the timeout right when they caught it. So let's see. Here comes the half-court heave. I should just tell you that it went in even though it didn't. It got intercepted, picked off by High Point. High Point's a winner. They're dancing.
Let's go.
How about High Point dancing to the second round? Oh, my God. What a bad job by Greg Gard. Terrible job. Oh! USF just made a 3. Only 5.2 seconds to go. Louisville's up 83-79.
Oh.
Let's just see how this one comes to a close here. There's going to be a foul. All right, so they're going to the free throw line.
Yeah, they're going free throws.
All righty, we got to run. It is the Zach Gelb Show right here on 365 Sports. We'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you follow us Twitter and Instagram at Zach Gelb, TikTok at the Zach Gelb Show. Also, youtube.com/@365sportsyt, youtube.com/@365sportsyt. And big thanks to Logan. Big thanks to Andrew. Big thanks to Garrett. Most importantly, big thanks to each and every one of you. We will talk tomorrow, everybody, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Zach Gelb. We out. Bye-bye. High Point. Peace.